Hey, 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 good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Miami-Dade Chambers Zoom session. This is the Health and Wellness Committee. I'm Dr. Delvina Thomas, a psychiatrist, and I'm also the committee chair for the Health and Wellness Committee. Shout out firstly to the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce. Shout out to our president, Gordon Eric Knowles. He is the man. If you guys know him, you know well. He is really about our community and about small businesses and helping all of us to prosper. Also, shout out to his team, his exec staff, because he can't do it without these people, Miss Paris Ward, Miss Beverly, as well as the mayor, Matthew Paget. Please, I hope I didn't butcher your name, Mayor. So anyhow, moving forward, today I have a guest so that we can discuss the mind pillar of our mind, body, and soul segment. We've been talking to you guys. We will be talking to you guys monthly for the next couple of months. We had our first segment in August that was on the mind. We had Dr. Bernard Ashby on talking about heart health, and we also talked a little bit about the COVID-19 vaccinations. Today, we're doing the mind segment of this mind, body, and soul segment. I'm talking to my guest. She's all the way in Ghana. She's in Ghana, guys, and we're talking live today because she has a personal story to share about her mental health challenges. Help me please welcome my special guest to the show, Miss Queen Nana Abena Korkor Addo. Yay!
Hey everyone!
Hi!
Hi!
It's so awesome to see you again. Thank you.
Thank you.
And of course, if you guys follow me on my social media, you know that Miss Nana and I had just the perfect interview. We had a great dialogue, about mental health and wellness. I just want folks to know who may not have listened to the audio podcast, may not have seen the video, which the video is at, I believe, 80,000 views on Facebook right now, and we're over 1,000 views on my YouTube channel. Miss Nana Abena Korkor Addo is a mental health advocate. She's a brain lover like I am, and she's also a body positivity advocate. So she advocates for those things that create the biggest challenges for people all over the world. 1 in 5 people have a mental illness of some sort or some sort of mental health challenge. And she also helps us because she's encouraging people to embrace themselves and love their bodies. Thank you for what you do.
My pleasure. It's always my pleasure.
So you have on this T-shirt, "Don't ignore your mental health." Tell us about this shirt.
Yes. That's always my number one message for anyone at all. You know, people forget that we all have mental health. Once you have a brain, you have a mental health. And people think mental health is just for people who have mental health disorders. But no, once you have your physical health, you also have a corresponding mental health that you need to take care of all the time.
Yes, absolutely. And so for folks who are watching this, please share this video. Please share because some people don't follow the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce. Please share on your Facebook pages because we want to spread this message. We want to end the mental health stigma. Nana's doing all she can in the motherland in Africa. I'm doing all that I can here in America. And so we're just combining our powers. So Nana, you speak so openly about your personal experiences with mental health. You were diagnosed with bipolar, I believe, in February 2015.
Yes, please.
Do you mind sharing for people, just giving them a summary of what you were going through at the time and how they came to the conclusion that you had bipolar?
Okay, so February 5th, 2015, I remember the exact date. It was the 17th. I was actually running for SRC president in 2015 at my college.
Good afternoon, everyone. Man here, guys.
And I put inappropriate pictures and videos of myself. I was ranting on social media, and I really didn't know what was going on, but I felt there was something, not right. I went to see a gynecologist first because I thought it was hormonal, and I was referred to that's one of the major psychiatric hospitals in Ghana. and I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. Apart from posting the inappropriate pictures and ranting on social media, what else was I involved in? I was easily irritated. I was, using a lot of makeup, which was very not coordinated. And if I were going through a manic episode and I had to do this live with you, I'm sure I'll be having red hair, yellow lipstick, an orange top, and with my green nails. So it was a lot of things that were really out of my normal. When we say bipolar disorder, what do we mean by bipolar disorder? The name itself helps you explain the term. Bi means two. So bipolar, you have two extreme poles. The lowest extreme is the depression, and the highest extreme is mania. In depression, you lose interest in the things that you usually do. You may have thoughts of suicide. You may feel worthless. The colors you choose are always gloomy, always depressing. If you're usually a loud and outspoken person, you actually exhibit the reverse. And when it comes to mania starts with you being the life of the party. Like, this is like the highest life of the party. You're highly energetic, you're full of ideas. You start a lot of projects that you're likely not to finish because it's just too many things that you are not really processing and planning well. And then there's the overspending, there's hypersexuality, there's easily being irritated, there is insomnia. And sometimes the things that you do, because it's very high risk activities, you might also tend to do risky things that might toll you towards, suicide or things that are very dangerous that can actually hurt yourself, physically and mentally. So I experienced bits of these things, and eventually I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. I am still learning what bipolar is because, research is always going on and you always have to be updated. And I've been living with bipolar disorder, been diagnosed for 7 years. 6 years. And I'm staying strong. I have a biomedical science background. I did psychology, I think, right before I got diagnosed. So I was like, okay, it's part of my responsibility for what I've studied in school to educate people on the condition and other mental health challenges. So this is another opportunity to do what I love doing. And Dr. Delvina, thank you. Chamber of Commerce, thank you for this opportunity.
Absolutely. You're so very welcome. Everyone has a story to share, but oftentimes, as you and I both know, people aren't comfortable sharing their personal stories. And so when people come forward and they're willing to share to help other people, it is just so powerful. And we accept that with a lot of gratitude. I want to mention September is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. September is also Self-Care Month. And last night I watched a video of a teenage boy who was diagnosed with bipolar, and he committed suicide. And so, for teenagers, one of the risk factors for an attempt at suicide is having a mental health disorder. Can you did a very good job explaining for folks what you experienced when you were manic, when you had your depressive phases. I wish not to add anything to what you said because you just gave very perfect, vivid, specific examples of what you were like when you were going through those phases. Do you mind also sharing your experience with any suicidal thinking?
So the very first time I experienced a manic episode, I did a lot of things that the usual me would not do. It was embarrassing. People were talking about me. People were
Oh, darn it. I think she may have froze just for a second. We'll see if she comes back up. Let's see. Queen, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. You're frozen, but that's
Hello?
okay. Can you hear us?
Hello? Yeah, I'm right here.
Can you hear me?
Yes. So there was
Okay.
so much cyberbullying. There was so many things that I thought I had. I'm worthless now. I thought I have, failed in life.
Sorry, I couldn't hear what you said.
I thought I had failed in life. I thought, it was the end of everything. I didn't think I could go back to school. And I wanted to complete school so bad. So there was a point where I actually attempted and I took something. I can't describe the whole process, else I might be aiding someone. And I just threw up. I felt miserable. So like that times that I'll think of suicide again, ending it all because I feel worthless, because I feel I'm better, gone than being here, because like every time I'm having a manic episode and then I'm causing problems.
Mhm.
So I thought I had to end it all. Nowadays, fortunately, it's like I'm scared of the process. I'm scared of the pain I'll go through. So I may think about it, but I don't carry it through. And therapy too has helped me a lot. It's okay to sometimes fail. It's okay to sometimes do things that are not planned. Forgive yourself. Learn to ask for forgiveness from the people around you, and then try and reconnect, try and get back to base. Remember who you are, remember what you want to stand for, remember your goals, your dreams, remember your family. And I think you keep on going. It's not just what you think mentally. When you are feeling suicidal, you seek for help.
That's
You
right.
seek for help. A therapist, you see a psychiatrist, you see your school counselor. It is not just enough talking to yourself that, okay, this is over. I have to stop feeling worthless. No, it's not enough. You need to see a professional. And just as if when you have bad breath or bad teeth, you go and see a dentist. It's the same way when you are not mentally stable, when you are mentally low, when you're thinking about suicide, you also need to see a professional who's going to help you. Gospel granted.
Okay. Miss Nana, I want you to do me a quick favor because I can hear you, but your picture is frozen. So just do me a favor and leave the studio,
Okay.
but come back in. So leave and then come back
Okay.
in, and let's see if that helps. So as Miss Nana is resetting her StreamYard, I just want to go on and just talk a little bit about suicide prevention. If you're not aware, there is a hotline that you can call if you're feeling suicidal, or if a family member, a child is feeling suicidal and you don't have a mental health professional, you don't have a psychiatrist or a psychologist or social worker or mental health counselor to call right away. Please call 1-800-273-8255. Again, that's 1-800-273-8255. That's the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. There's also an easier number to remember. It's 3 numbers, 988, and there's also 211. And those numbers are helpful when someone is having or experiencing some mental health or mental distress. And so those are numbers you can easily call. Thank you, Miss Nana. You're back. So Miss Nana is in Ghana. And I don't know if some of you know this or not, but at times there are internet challenges in Ghana, and there's also challenges with their power and electricity. Miss Nana, so I guess you will go and come back and we'll see what happens. I've been speaking with Miss Nana Abena Korkor Addo. She is a mental health advocate in Accra, Ghana, well, all over Ghana. She's created a business also. Her business is called Psychosocial Africa. That is a nonprofit agency that assists people in accessing mental health care, and also helps to support folks who have mental health challenges. Welcome back.
Hi, thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. So you were telling us about your attempt at suicide, and thank you for knowing not to share the method that you use. There's a lot of stuff on social media, chat rooms and things that really are pro-suicide. It's just ridiculous to me that people are sharing these things. And this is how teenagers and adolescents are obtaining information. So parents, please monitor and supervise what your children are looking at on social media. Miss Nana, so as you were saying about your moment when you felt suicidal and tried to kill yourself.
Yeah. So as I said, I think I summarized it, or I have to take it again because I finished it.
Okay, so you were saying that you used a method that you did not want to disclose. Did you
Okay.
go to the hospital afterward, or did you just wake up at home?
Discomfort and threw up, and then afterwards it's whenever I feel suicidal. It's more of I don't want to go through the ordeal I went through the first time. It's like, okay, I want to die, but I don't like pain. I don't like, I was wishing there was a magic button I could just press. But now through therapy and talking to a professional, talking to my family, I have worked my way through it. Like nowadays, when I actually feel suicidal, I talk to someone. I don't keep it to myself. So that's one thing that we have to learn. Whenever you feel suicidal, speak up. Speak up. Speak up, speak up, speak up. Find the hotlines, find a professional, find a counselor, as part of your first aid from this conversation, try and find someone that is a safe space that you can talk to whenever you are feeling not okay, so that there has to be that safe space. There has to be that first person you talk to. Maybe you're not ready to see a professional, but that first person should have access to one professional or the other. So after this conversation, if you don't have anyone that is like your safe space to talk to when you're having a mental breakdown, just as you have emergency numbers, for your cardio, for your dentist, whatever it is, add an emergency number for your mental health. Whenever you're feeling depressed, this is this one person that would understand what I am going through. And I know Dr. Thomas is going to provide a hotline for those in the States, the number to call in case you need help. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and so you faded out a little bit towards the end when you were explaining what happened to you when you were feeling suicidal. So that's why I asked you to explain that again. Thank you
Okay.
so much for doing that. And you always read my mind. You anticipate what my next question will be. My next question was going to ask you, what advice would you give to folks who are experiencing that, who are feeling suicidal or feeling like they don't want to live anymore? As you said, having someone to talk to or to turn to confide in is important. We know from studies that social connections are a great buffer when someone is going through distress and they're feeling mental health challenges or feeling overwhelmed. It's very important to keep a strong circle intact around you, people you can rely on, people who are supportive, people who are non-judgmental, people who will answer the phone when you call and will also know what to say to you, because oftentimes a lot of people don't know how to respond or what to say.
Yeah.
What tell us about Psychosocial Africa, about your nonprofit organization.
So Psychosocial Africa, I would say, is my baby. Psychosocial Africa is one of the pivots of my mental health, safe space. So now Psychosocial Africa is operating as a support group. Mainly, we operate as a support group for persons living with mental health problems, their friends and family. We have, as a group of people living with mental health problems, we have professionals, we have psychiatrists, we have clinical psychologists, we have people living with bipolar depression, schizophrenia, we have their families on the page, we have friends of the patients on the page. We just have people who want to support the cause. What are some of the activities we've done? We've been always advocating on radio, TV, on social media. We've been able to raise funds to support psychiatric hospitals. I have stayed in a psychiatric hospital before. And most of the time, when you look at all the health facilities, psychiatric hospitals are the least funded. So after staying there, the condition of the beds, the food that we eat, we're like, if we ever have the opportunity, we are going to raise money to give back. So those are one of the things we do as an organization. So it's more of raising funds. Sometimes we get involved in ongoing research. There's the WHO quality rights. I participated as an assessor and facilitator. We assess the psychiatric hospitals on how to improve it for it to get to the WHO standard, considering the rights of persons living with mental health problems. So in the next 5 to 10 years, it has started. It started with training professionals on how to treat patients' rights. In the next 5 to 10 years, we hope the infrastructure will be changed. We will have better medication. We will have better facilities in our psychiatric hospitals. In Ghana, for instance, just because of the state of the psychiatric hospital, it prevents people from going for the service. So if quality rights comes and really stays, it's going to encourage more people to attend to their mental health. So that is what Psychosocial Africa has been about. Below the screen, I see our Facebook page is there, our Instagram page is there. It's at Psychosocial Africa. You can DM us and ask us more questions on how to support, how to partner with us, and see how we can, make mental health an everyday conversation, reduce stigma and discrimination when it comes to mental health.
Thank you very much. Now, Psychosocial Africa, is it only for adults, or do you allow teens and adolescents to participate as well?
The youngest member that we had joined when she was 16, and that was 3 years ago. She's now an adult. So most of the time, if we have a teenager, they are on the platform with their parents, or they are actually brought into the group by a parents. That young lady was brought into the group by the parents. Yeah.
Okay. So we have a couple of comments in the chat. I'm going to mention those comments, but first I just want to say something to parents about suicide prevention. Do not be afraid to ask your child if they want to kill themselves. Do not be afraid to ask your child if they have thoughts about killing themselves. Do not be afraid to ask your child if they think about not living. Sometimes it's how you phrase the question. So, if you say, do you want to kill yourself? They may say no. But if you say, do you want to stop living, or do you wish you were dead? They may say yes. So if you notice that your child has pulled away from the family, is not engaging socially, is not doing the fun activities they used to do, if they look different, they look sad, they look listless, they look like they have less energy, it's hard for them to get out of the beds in the morning to go to class, their grades begin to drop, they're not eating the same, they're not sleeping the same, they may be experiencing an episode of depression. Depressive disorder, as bipolar disorder, those are two disorders that can result in suicidal thinking, as can anxiety disorders. There are a lot of children and teenagers who suffer from anxiety. And parents, at times, we have this thing where we just feel like, hey, get over it, tough it out. Why are you being weak? I wasn't this way when I was your age. We cannot do that. We cannot do that. We have to be more supportive and non-judgmental. Ask the tough questions, as one of my committee members is saying here on Facebook. Thank you, Ms. Tricia Lewis. Ask the tough questions. You have to do it. Now, someone has commented on YouTube and said, I have a depressed friend who says she doesn't want to talk to anyone, and that she doesn't talk to anyone, but she stays online on WhatsApp. And this person says it confuses her at times. So I suppose this is a person who doesn't want to verbally talk, but they share their feelings and emotions on social media. And it seems like the platform this young lady is using is WhatsApp. What would you say to that, Ms. Nana, about a person who's not opening up verbally, but is letting it all out on social media?
What I would say to that friend is, if WhatsApp is the channel the person wants to communicate, use that same platform to reach out, keep on sending positive messages. Once in a while, suggest through WhatsApp Messenger, would you like to talk to a professional? Would you like to talk to someone who will help you not feel the way you are feeling right now? Because sometimes people don't even know I am feeling suicidal. They don't even know that that's the term. That is what you're going through. So as she said, you listed the symptoms. You're not social anymore. Some people give away their things when they are feeling suicidal. So when you notice all these things, you find a very nice way, a friendly way. If it's WhatsApp messages that the person prefers, keep on sending subtle messages, not too pushy, but at least once every day you send, would you like to talk to a professional? Is it okay to give your number to this person who's going to make you feel better about yourself, make you
Mm-hmm.
more lively? I see you're wearing, like, maybe you're posting a lot of negative stuff now. Would you like to try posting some positive stuff now? So it's not because people are suicidal, you just force therapy or suggestions on them. No, it has to be a gradual and patient process. Sometimes it will take months, sometimes it will take weeks. We just hope that we get to the person on time before they actually carry out the process. Because if you're not too careful with your methods, they might speed up the process rather than slowing and stopping it.
Okay, absolutely right. Absolutely correct. Thank you for giving us that information. The bottom line is not to give up on your friends and family who are suffering from mental health problems. Don't give up on them. As you said, Nana, continue to encourage them, be positive, send them positive things. Eventually, at some point in time, there will be a breakthrough and they will allow you to assist them more, even if that means scheduling an appointment on their behalf. We
Yes.
have a couple of minutes left. I want us to talk about self-care because
Okay.
self-care is so important for our brains and for our mental health and wellness. As I said, September is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, and September is also Self-Care Month. So, Ms. Nana, what are some things that you do on a regular basis, or from time to time, you might do certain things for your self-care?
Okay. So it's been because of COVID, things have been tough for everyone. We're trying to balance things. So once in a while, it's good to, just praise yourself for your little wins. A lot of people have failed at things. A lot of people have lost things. Don't focus too much on the negative. Don't focus too much on the negative news. Celebrate your wins. Be grateful for just being alive, just being able to tune in to Facebook, YouTube, just to listen to this conversation. Don't dwell too much on the negative. So I actually keep a grateful journal. I learned that from Oprah. Every night, 8 p.m., I have to say 3 things I'm thankful for. And it helps me liven up even most of my down moments. It was, if let's say if I'm low to like negative 40, after doing that, it can push me up to about 1 or 2, and then eventually I work myself up to 100. So it's good to always celebrate your small wins and also be grateful. Another thing is also take time off your busy schedule to exercise. It doesn't have to be vigorous exercise. It could be something calm as yoga. It could be walking up the mountains. It could be strolling by the beach. Connect with nature, something that makes you, observe nature, something that makes you go within and just be thankful for all that you are. Something calm. Exercising, minimal exercise, about 30 minutes a day, or maybe less. 30 minutes a day might be too much for you. Maybe 30 minutes a week.
Don't let them off the hook easy. Don't let them off the
30
hook.
minutes a day so that you just get some endorphins kick in. Exercise just gives you happy hormones. This morning I walked up the mountain, and when I was back home, I was just so happy. Everybody's like, "Yeah, I'm glowing. What's keeping you excited?" I'm like, "I just walked up the mountain," and it's a natural, free way of getting your happy hormones in. And another thing too is what you follow and listen to on social media. There's a lot of negative news around. There's a lot of chaos and all that. Be careful what you are listening to. Be careful what you're watching. Be careful what you are always feeding your mind. it is very, very important. You have to be cautious of those things. Apart from social media, that nowadays we're almost with 24 hours. Now the people at your workplace, in your house, in your community, try and keep a positive circle around you. Cut off the toxic people. Or if you can't, cut them off, try one way or the other to remove the toxicity from them. Because if you don't have positive people, you don't have focused people, you have people that are always, reminding you of negative things, always being toxic towards you, it will toll you towards the line of making you mentally unstable. So these are a few things that I'm going to say on how I take care of myself. And then again, watch programs like The Business of Health. All these programs are going to help you stay online, like stay on the track that you're supposed to be. When you look at my YouTube feed, I'm always listening to Oprah, something positive. I have this lady that I listen to, Sarah T.D. Jakes. She's always saying something positive to me. I'm always learning something positive. I can just Google or just type in my YouTube, positive thinking, so that I always stay on track. These are always small things, to keep you on track. We have, self-care things. Sometimes we confuse self-soothing things with self-care things. Somebody will go for a pedicure. Yes, it's good to have a pedicure, but go deeper. Listen to something, podcasts on positive thinking, try better, exercises on better coping mechanisms, go the extra mile, exercise, go the extra mile on working on yourself, just as you're working on getting that, snatched body or beautiful hair or the veneers, whatever it is. Take time to focus on your mind. Your mind is one thing that controls everything you do, how you behave, how you feel, how you think. It's your mind. So if your mind is not healthy, trust me, everything is really not working right.
Yeah. And so your YouTube channel, it's Nana Abena Korkor Addo, correct?
It's Abena Korkor TV.
Okay, Abena Korkor TV. So if you're on the computer right now or on your phone, go ahead, go to her YouTube channel and subscribe. And after you subscribe to her YouTube channel, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Dr. Delvina Thomas, the way that you see it written here. Bottom line is you're saying to do the work. The same way we have to work to take care of our physical health, we have to do the work to take care of ourselves mentally.
Yeah.
And prevention is so important, guys. If you've ever heard me speak previously, you know that I talk about prevention all the time. Out in the United States, we're such a reactionary society. We should try harder to prevent things better. Prevention means drinking your 64 ounces or more of plain water every day. Prevention includes the exercise that Ms. Nana Abena is telling you to participate in. Prevention is also, as she said, keeping the toxicity out of your life, not having those negative people around. Prevention is not listening to negativity all the time on the news. There are some people who love to watch the news to hear the negative stories. That has an impact on your brain. You need positivity. Prevention is going outside in the sunlight and getting the sun rays, the energy from the sun, creating and helping to enhance your vitamin D levels. Vitamin D is very important for energy and many other processes in the body. When you have low vitamin D levels, you can feel tired all of the time. People don't think about this. Prevention also means eating healthy, getting your veggies, your greens. You should be eating a lot of greens, the Brussels sprouts, the asparagus, the collard greens, the kale, the arugula. You have to do these things, guys. And the other brain love foods for your brain. You got to have the sweet potatoes, the blueberries. Those things are healthy. The salmon, the fish with the omega-3 fatty acids. You have to have a supportive circle around you. You need the social connections, the healthy social connections, like Miss Nana was telling you, and learning how to be mindful. If you don't know how to be mindful, listen to my podcast, the Brain Love Podcast. This past Sunday, I had a guest on, Miss Boone Fai, and we talked about mindfulness. So learn how to be mindful, learn how to meditate in addition to your prayer. Prayer is awesome. Prayer is a mainstay, but we also have to have other strategies sometimes in the moment that can help us escape when there's a challenging situation taking place. I want to mention one of my other committee members, Stephen Rogers on Facebook, commented, find a passion for self-care. So many people don't have an outlet. We wear many hats and often we forget the important one, ourselves. So whether it's exercise, reading, walking, etc., take time for yourself. Guys, you schedule everything else. You schedule your client, you schedule your work schedule, you schedule your hair appointment, schedule to do the self-care stuff. I've been scheduling my golfing, I've been scheduling my massages, the things that are more the as you would put, the foo-foo type of supportive things, but it's okay. You got to have balance with things. And someone loved your suggestion, go deeper with our self-care. So that's going to be the plug here. Go deeper with self-care. Any last words, Miss Nana?
So I would say, let's keep on having conversations about mental health. Do not ignore your mental health. As we talk about mental health, it reduces the stigma, it reduces discrimination. Normalize mental health conversations at your office, at your church, in your home, wherever, in the salon. Normalize those conversations so that people can speak up. They will know that they are not alone. There are other people going through the same thing so that they can speak up. A lot of people who have lost their lives to suicide lost it because they could not speak up. They didn't even feel it's okay to talk about these things. So let's normalize conversations about mental health so that people can speak up, so that people can feel no stigma or discrimination, so people can feel free to work, to achieve their goals, to marry, start relationship, even when they are living with a mental health problem.
That's
all.
right.
Thank you.
That's right. And so beautifully said. I love that. And I love what you're doing. I appreciate you for coming on. I just want to mention another comment from another committee member, Valerie Crawford. Do not be afraid to schedule quiet time to just be and take care of yourselves. And you guys joining Miss Nana and me on this live today. This is about self-care because you're learning about mental health disorders and learning about mental challenges and how to cope. Hopefully, we were able to share some information, something new for you. Some of this hopefully was old for you because you guys have been inquiring about mental health and wellness and want to take care of yourselves, your whole self, not just your body, but your mind and your spirit as well. So mind, body, and spirit, guys. All righty. Thank you so much, Miss Nana.
Pleasure. Thank you. Bye to everyone.
Bye. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We'll see you again in October for our next series. This will be the next one about the spirit. So join the Health and Wellness Committee in October. The dates are forthcoming. Everybody have a great rest of the day.